Shake off the negativity. I'm Dustin, Prince of Aphotic Realm, and this is Bo, my indie author friend.
Fabulous powers will be revealed to you the day we hold aloft our mics and say,
I have the geekdom!
Geek-Men and the masters of the ThunderNerds.
ThunderNerds! Ho! Welcome to another episode of Geek-Men and the ThunderNerds. I'm Dustin.
I am Bo.
This is the podcast that talks about all the things you love
Without all the hate.
Yeah! San Diego Comic-Con 2018.
A lot of cool stuff, man.
We're not there, but we're going to talk about it.
Yeah, because it ain't going to stop us.
Nope.
Unless you want to pay for us to go next year, that would totally be cool. It would be cool with us.
We'll report from the floor. Take all the cool pictures.
Oh. We'll pick you up some, some sweet swag. We'll give it out.
Oh, man. You know, I put out the call there. I'm hoping someone does me the solid, but no one did. No one said they would, so I doubt it'll happen. But I so wanted a copy of Timothy Zahn's new Star Wars Thrawn book that had the alternate exclusive cover with Anakin on it. I wanted that so bad. I was like, hey, I will pay you if you whoever picks that up for me. But no one volunteered, so.
I want Alex Ross's glass poster.
Yeah.
I saw that thing he's giving it out.
There's so many awesome exclusives there. Where do you want to start?
Should we start? Let's go with some big guns. Let's talk about the movies because that's the big stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of trailers came out.
So many
good ones we've all been waiting for because we needed, some confirmations on some things. So let's roll over. What was the first big one? I mean, I guess it was Glass, right?
Well, yeah, that was
Friday.
Yeah, I don't know if that was the first one that came out, but it's definitely one that I've been following and I was definitely excited about.
A lot of years of people wanting a sequel to Unbreakable, and now they finally got it.
Yeah, Unbreakable is probably like one of my favorite movies of all time, and especially one of M. Night Shyamalan, whatever's name movies. But so good, and I loved Split, and I thought it looked good, but then we hadn't. My wife and I hadn't got to see it yet. It had been out for like maybe a week, I think. And then I read a spoiler that said, hey, there's a link from this movie to Unbreakable. And I'm like, really? What? And it was already on my list of movies. So I'm like, I'm there. I was like, we have to go see this movie immediately. Immediately! Get to the chopper! So we got to the chopper and discovered that it wasn't another tumor of like some of his past movies, but we're not going to get into that.
Positivity.
Yeah, positivity. Yeah, loved it. I was like, oh man, this is great. And man, that dude can act. James McAvoy can act.
Yes.
Such a good movie.
I got lucky. My sister, who has just absolutely in love with the fella, and I can see why the dude's handsome and charismatic, and I'd marry him.
Yeah.
But she's like, you haven't seen Split because I didn't get to go to theaters and I heard good things about it. Mm-hmm. Somehow I made it all the way through the video and everything, unspoiled. I don't know how.
Wow.
And she's just like, you need to watch that movie. And she was just telling me how good McAvoy's in and everything. I was like, well, I've been hearing good things. I'll watch it. So of course I'm watching it and I'm like, why is the Unbreakable music playing? And then you see Bruce Willis, and you're like, oh, no, are you kidding me? And then you have that flashback to like the first movie where Glass gets that comic with the two heroes fighting on it. And one's the Beast Man, and one's a superhero, and you're like, oh, you clever bastard!
Yes. Oh, it's so glorious.
Good.
So glorious. I love it. Oh man, I got goosebumps. It was great.
I did. I'm so stoked, and it's coming out in like
January.
It's smart to come out in January, man. He's gonna sweep up that month.
Yep. Oh, I can't wait. And
that's
just
usually
the poster and the trailer and everything, it's just so awesome. It's so good, and I was so excited. Like I said, like Glass is such an awesome villain, but then adding Beast, and McAvoy to it, just totally expands and enriches that mythos. So really pleased and excited about the trailer.
I'm good. I'm good on that. So 100% go on that. What was the
next one that I was excited about that absolutely blew me away was Aquaman.
I was on the fence because I've said it before, just in the nicest way possible. Haven't been the happiest for how DC movies have been handled.
Yeah.
And the new one, but
yeah, most folks aren't.
Good.
It looks phenomenal. I'm excited.
I did get confirmation on that movie.
Of
I read from Mr. Sunday Movies.
Yes.
Who I was lucky enough to have interaction with this morning. That was fun. That was a fun day to kick it off. Confirmed that the people at San Diego Comic-Con got to see extra footage. And
nice.
Sure enough, he's going to be wearing that armor.
Yeah.
His classic
suit.
Classic green and gold, orange, whatever you want to call it.
Just like that was actually a toy that they revealed.
Yeah.
Him in the suit.
Are they just making this just for the movie, or?
Well, yeah, and
is he going to be in it?
Yeah,
it's too cool to not use it.
There was a shot where it was like he was like partially in it, just missing some of the arms, and it looked kind of cool. But yeah, I mean, just the idea, like the staff that we saw him have in Justice League was not the King's Trident.
Yeah, and they're not going to explain that.
He's going to have to try to find the King's Trident and go on a quest and take his rightful place to fight his half-brother Orm and all this stuff. It's just like, oh man. Like,
yeah, they're mixing, they said they're pulling the majority of their stuff from New 52.
Yeah.
And just classic origin stuff, so I'm stoked.
It looks cool. I'm fine with a majority of that stuff. Like, it looks good. I'm excited.
For all the people that changed hands on that looks like the movie where everybody's just kind of having fun.
Yep.
So I'm stoked about that. DC followed that right up the same day.
Uh-huh.
With another trailer.
That also looks like they're having fun.
This is the one I was nervous about, and then I saw the trailer, and I was like, okay, they got it.
Yeah.
It looks pretty
for
fun.
sure. I mean, everyone had their doubts when, they named Zachary Levi as Shazam, and they showed, like, the pictures of him blowing bubbles and drinking the big gulp and stuff, and everything. They're like, oh, this doesn't make sense. This doesn't go with their dark tone. And it's like, look, there's many sides to these characters. Not every character has to be dark. And this is great. And I assure you, Zachary Levi is a teenager in a grown man's body. He is perfect for this Shazam role. And it's going to be great.
He pulled down some stuff. I saw... in the movie, in the trailer, it's a joke. It's a really funny joke at that, where he snaps and he's like, "Ha ha ha, you're dead," and you see that instantaneous, like, oh man, at the end of this movie when he that's the only thing I hope they don't deviate from. I do want to see him reach that level of responsibility, like, oh, I've had these powers for a reason.
Yeah.
So I want to see him get serious and be not like dark, but I want to see him be that Boy Scout Superman. Like, I got to get in there and do this, and I got to be serious and stop joking around.
I think that's all about come down to the hero's journey, and so he's going to be having fun with it, having fun with his friend, and then he's going to probably, his friend is going to take the place of sort of like the wizard, and like pass on some of this guide and knowledge and stuff like, oh, well, this is what heroes do and stuff, and this is what we should be doing. And then, something will happen that'll,
he'll realize why he got those powers.
Yeah,
that's going to be in the movie. Yeah, like, well, okay, why did I get these powers?
Well, I know I'm not a huge follower of Shazam lore and mythos, but I have seen, I think it was some DC Shazam, straight to DC Direct video. And in that, like, they made it seem like Billy had access to the dude that grants him his powers as, like, a guide. Like, he could go to this Fortress of Solitude, cave and talk to this, council dude. And
the original, the Shazam.
Or whatever. Which is all very confusing because he's, supposed to be Captain Marvel, but they're just calling him straight Shazam now. And
they just went ahead and cleared all that legal stuff up several years ago. They were just like, man, this ain't worth it. Everybody calls him Shazam anyway. Let's just officially change his name to Shazam next time we do a Universal retcon thing.
Something.
And they did.
And I'm still one of the old codgers still calling him Captain Marvel. I'm like, oh, it's Captain Marvel. Oh, wait, no, you're wrong. Oh, I guess I am.
Definitely going to change after next year.
Yeah. I think it looks good. I think it looks fun. I think it'll be great. I mean,
I'm definitely interested for it. And I can't help but think, I wish this movie had been out when I was a kid, because when I was a kid, I love the idea of Shazam, that you could just say a magic word and there you are. You're a superhero.
Yeah, for sure.
You got everything you need. What was the Godzilla trailer? The real one, not the kind of teasery one.
Yeah, I was a little confused because at some point I could have swore that I heard that this was going to be like a Godzilla and King Kong crossover.
They're still doing that. That's still a movie.
Okay, well, the trailer didn't seem to give me any hints that King Kong was going to be in it, so that must just be coming later, and they must have just dedicated this part of the trailer to Godzilla only. So, I mean, they did, they did allude to lots of different monsters in there, but, I was just like, okay, well, show me King Kong, and then I didn't really see it. I was just like, wait, I thought this was going to be a crossover between Skull Island and Godzilla, and we were going to have some sort of crazy monster fight, and it just seemed to be going in a different direction. I was just like, I must have been mistaken, or maybe there's going to be another movie, and this was already in the works before they announced that or something. So
they just hyped up the Kong aspect of it more after Kong Skull Island, with that the after credit sequence.
Gotcha.
But they're just building up to that. Who knows? Kong might show up at the end of this movie. There's no telling. But they're definitely focusing on the his classic roster of monster villainoids.
Now, is this going to be a sequel? Do you know offhand? Is this going to be a sequel to the previous Godzilla movie?
I believe so. I think the whole plot is through false pretenses, Mothra, Rodan, and I can never remember the three-headed dragon.
Oh.
Please don't hate me. It's Guy something. But release those, and then it's up to guess who decides to come back out, and it's like, time to protect the planet, save it again, I guess. Let's do this. Come strolling out of the water. I think that's what the movie's about.
Huh.
It's gonna be just an all-out brawl between the four. Well, I just love the scope. They nailed the scope and scale of things. I was actually kind of creeped out by. I know that's like one of my fears. I don't know what it is. I know there's a term for it, but it's when you're afraid of things that have a massive scale.
Yeah.
Like you get that weird sense. Like if I stand next to like a radio tower or something, I get that weird feeling like. Yeah.
How small you are or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. So seeing things like that. See them do, because they I feel like they lacked that in the last one. They had a couple really awesome shots, which I won't go into, so let's drag out the show, but I have a sense that they're going to do more of that. Because there were so many of those shots in the trailer. I just hope those aren't all the shots. but I don't think they are.
No, I mean, yeah, it definitely looked like some of that was like awakening or discovering, and I imagine there'll be like more down and dirty stuff for sure.
After clearing a whole slew of clouds and with its wings and stuff, I was like, oh, it was so cool.
Yeah.
I'm so scared. If I was there, I would just die. Just kill me now.
Yeah, for sure. Oh man, that would be insane. That's one of the things that I think I do like about monster movies and stuff. It's like you look up and you're like, oh man, that thing is so massive. Like you just, it's hard to fathom. And then like when you go to a big city and something like stuff, when you just look up and it's like the building goes on forever. It's like you almost like fall backwards. You're looking up to try to find the top. It's like, whoa.
I love that feeling.
It's whoa. It's like, wow.
It's scary, but it's fun.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm cool with that. So all in all, every trailer I was really into seeing.
Yeah.
Was cool. Oh, there's a bunch of TV trailers we need to go over too.
Yeah, like, I mean, first of all, I just want to throw this out there to get it out of the way. There are, Iron Fist. Iron Fist. We can lump that in with all the CW shows. Solid trailers. Overall assumed excitement for those things coming up.
Yeah,
all
just
good,
more,
all great.
More the same.
Yeah, more the same. However, I am intrigued to see what they do with Green Arrow in Supermax. So, considering was an awesome storyline of the comics, and to see what they actually do with it in
it's going to be a movie for a long time too.
It was. They talked about doing that, and I was just like, oh man, how awesome would that be to jump right in the middle of the action? And
let's just be a random movie, just about like, even if you didn't know who they were, it just would have been a cool movie.
Yeah, it's just like,
that's what I liked about it, the casualness.
This dude's going to be yeah, exactly. This dude's Green Lantern. What? Or Green Lantern? Green Arrow?
Oh, Captain Boomerang. That's all right. Sure.
Yeah. It's like you don't know any of these things. It's super stripped down until, maybe they escape or maybe something happens. They're just... Yeah. So it was a good premise, and it's too bad that never happened. But they're doing it on the show, so we'll see how it goes. What about Young Justice and Titans? Did you catch those?
Yes, because they announced the DC streaming package finally with that news. With the details on that. I believe it's $7.99 a month.
Right.
Or a yearly fee. You get access to all DC related movies and television shows from Warner Brothers and all that good stuff.
That they have there. They made it sound like it's going to rotate, or it's not going to be a full inventory.
Because they kind of that would be a smart thing to do, because it's not an extensive library anyway. I guess they work kind of way Shudder works, where they just kind of don't have everything all at once.
Yeah.
But to compensate for that, you get the deals and the exclusive shop items access to that they offer, and a library of around 2,000 to 3,000 comics,
which sounds interesting.
At your disposal. Don't know. I think that'll be rotating too, but
yeah,
you actually have the ability to read that up on your TV as well. You can just throw it up there and read it up there too.
Yeah, which I think will be pretty cool, but. All the new live action exclusives that they're going to do. All the new exclusive shows, which is Young Justice and Titan, and wasn't there another show that they are working on?
I think they're going to roll out a couple. I mean, the only place where you're going to be able to get the HD Batman animated series, and I think there's going to be a Harley cartoon.
Yeah.
And some other stuff. I think they're working on other projects, but the two they're rolling out is Live Action Titans, which is like their Netflix of Titans TV shows.
Yeah.
And then Young Justice, which is continuing on from Cartoon Network / Netflix.
Yeah.
Saving it.
Which now it's like Young Justice, this season's called Outsiders, so it has a bunch of other, a different lineup of heroes that we're not used to seeing before.
Yeah.
New cast and stuff, so could be good, could be not as good. We'll see.
Yeah, I don't know. I still maintain my hope that it has the same
chemistry and
yeah, because that show is just so magnificent. And
it was.
People just didn't watch that show. I mean, the fans have carried it to this point.
Yeah.
It's definitely been the crutch, and people should be watching it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see how that plays out. I definitely want to test it out, though.
Yeah, Young Justice and Titans both look great. I can't wait.
So, well, we talked about the shows, we talked about the movies.
Well, hang on, 2 last shows that I want to mention. Have to mention them. Clone Wars and She-Ra.
Oh, I'm big of an idiot in mine. That was like the biggest news that dropped, I think, out of TV shows. They're bringing back Clone Wars for one more season.
Yeah, I nearly had a heart attack when I saw that.
I was like, what is this? Is this going to be like a movie or something?
I was like, what?
What is this? But yeah, they're bridging the gap.
Which is great.
Yeah, and then that closing scene, it's like, oh, okay. Cool. I got some catching up on Clone Wars today.
Yeah.
But that's going to be cool.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, what was that? A She-Ra?
Yeah, the Netflix and Netflix is putting out a new She-Ra, and I think it's done by now forgetting, but it's the same people that did like Trolls, the Troll Hunters. What is that?
DreamWorks?
Yeah, DreamWorks. Thank you.
Yeah, they're handling the Voltron too.
Yeah, they're doing the animation for it. And it just looks like a lot of fun. And they're trying to, do a lot of fun things for it. It looks good.
It's cool that she's getting her attention again. That's going to be awesome.
So I'm hopeful
and we might get a little He-Man cameo in there. That'd be cool.
Yeah, I'm hopeful that, this will in turn bring a little, something for He-Man way. You never know.
Some attention. It's been a while.
It has. 2003 for, the last cartoon, and then, they've been teasing us about having a movie for years. Oh, goodness, I want a movie so bad.
We'll see about that. We'll see about that. But good. I think that was, for me, that's probably the biggest surprise at a Comic-Con. I was expecting at least something. And it was that Clone Wars. The fact that they just, we're gonna bridge that gap. Because we never got to see how that ended.
Yeah.
Just jump right into Rebels.
Yeah, they're just like, yep, we're going to throw out a couple more seasons, and then, there's assumed stuff here, and then, we're just going to go into Rebels. So, but whatever, you'll have that. Next up.
We got some toys, man.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be the same without toys. What was some of your highlights, toy-wise?
Well, they, from, Masters of the Universe and Mattel, they said they had a bunch of, like, masks and some little toy exclusives, and they were like, oh, like, if basically you need to tweet, tell Mattel what you want, if you like any of the things you see here, or, if you like these, like, taller doll-looking things, tell us what you want. There's apparently a lot of stuff in the works. 2019 is going to be a big year for them because they're definitely doing stuff, for She-Ra and some stuff coming up with, He-Man. So they said to watch out for that. There was a Snake Mountain. Did you see that?
Yes, and I watched. By the way, it looks amazing. But I saw somebody who was there and they had a reported price on it.
Yeah.
They said they're probably going to end up having to kickstart it.
Oh.
Like they did, because I believe they did that with Grayskull. I believe they kickstarted Grayskull. I think it went through. And Grayskull wasn't cheap when they redid that. But Snake Mountain is huge compared to Grayskull. And I believe the price tag is circling around $300 to $500. You're talking hundreds and hundreds of dollars for that one play set. And I was like, well, it's nice looking at it.
Yes, I will have a picture of it. That is beautiful.
That right up on the wall.
And that's kind of the unfortunate thing. I don't recall there being a Snake Mountain playset, and I'm probably wrong, but I don't recall there being a Snake Mountain playset for the 2003. If there was, I don't know.
Now I gotta look it up because it seems like they did, but it was like real. It wasn't that size.
All I know is I have the 2003 He-Man Castle Grayskull, but I don't have.
I'm jealous you even still have it, man.
Oh, I have.
No, they totally had it.
Did they? I didn't see it.
one from '84. It looks kind of the same. It's just they've really blown up the proportions, and they've included. I mean, this one just has a snake and stuff on it coming off of it, and faces and gates. This thing actually has the mountain that curls up, and the snake curling up around the mountain with its mouth agape at the top, and it's man.
Oh no, yeah. It looks exactly nearly identical to the original '80s one, but I was talking about the 2003 series one. Like, I don't recall them making one for that.
There was a lot of toys in that toy line they ended up not getting to, I believe.
And because I didn't have it, I have my original '80s Snake Mountain and Castle Grayskull, and I have, my 2003 Snake or Castle Grayskull, but I don't have a Snake Mountain, and I don't recall that they made one. But
I really want that Adam from that line.
Yeah, it's good.
That just as an action figure all by itself. If you knew nothing about He-Man, I love the way the action figure looks.
Yeah. Well, one of my favorite things, obviously, is Thundercats, so I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about the absolutely gorgeous, I don't know, I think these are mini busts, or not busts, but mini statues of Lion-O and Mumra.
Yeah, Mattel's still rolling out the merch. They're keeping it up.
I don't know if they're I don't know any details on it. It's just something I saw earlier this morning. But I haven't tracked down any info on it. It's just been pictures. All that I found. But they look gourd.
Because you gotta admit, man, everybody's been giving up on that toy line up until this last one.
Yeah.
They haven't been getting it the right treatment. No, right. It's not fair.
Yeah. It's let's do what the Turtles did a few years ago. Have a kid's version of the cartoon. So that's what we're getting with Thundercats Roar. And then go and make a PG-13 adult-ish / older kid family movie for adults.
Yeah, I mean, Warner Brothers owns this stuff. They have, hands down, the best animation department. I mean, they're not 100%. No one is. But
yeah, I mean,
they're DC animated films. 9 out of 10. They're so good. Just give us some of that.
Even if you could do some of that, or if you wanted to take it full on, you could do costumes, or if you wanted to go Avatar with it, which might be more money than what they want to spend. But Avatar's proven that people like weird looking creature things on other weird worlds.
There's always going to be people waiting for that Thundercats movie. They'll be waiting to see that signal in the sky.
Yes, since the 19th, people have been waiting for a Thundercat movie. But I digress. What do you have on yours?
Oh, toys, man. There was that deluxe Hellboy figure that looked, sick. All the fun accessories and stuff. The Lego Voltron, I believe, was going to be an exclusive down there, and then they're going to release it mass later.
Ooh.
But the biggest things I saw were that I got pretty excited about. I wasn't expecting was the Transformers. They have a couple of new lines opening up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. One is they're doing and it's funny because if people go back and listen to that episode we did on Transformers, you talked about wanting this. This is this toy line is going to be called Cyberverse, and it's going to be about them on Cybertron.
Oh, cool.
So the vehicles are going to be more futuristic and, just covering that war, essentially, before they even left Cybertron.
Oh, that's cool.
So everything will look all cosmic-y and, streamlined and all sorts of cool stuff. They had the toy line for the movie, and the reason I point that out is because on the table for the toy lines for the movie was an Optimus with a flat nose.
Ooh.
Red, and when it transformed, it looked very cool. It had its own distinct style that was clearly updated, but it still transformed into a flat nose cab truck. And on the back of it, the back kind of opens up, and these missiles and gun turrets are on the side when you flip them out. So I was like, okay, that's even more confirmation that Optimus is going to show up in that movie.
Sweet.
Even if it's just for a little bit, and I'll take it. I'm more than happy to take it.
Big bot.
Yeah, I will try and find links to that so everybody can look at it. They're doing a Generations too. I believe they're working on that already, aren't they? Isn't Generations already going?
I believe, if I remember correctly.
Because I think they're just adding more to that toy line. But the big one, the one that got me kind of like, I was like, oh, no way. They're going to do a Transformers vintage line where they're going for the original style of the action figures, the way they transformed back in the day. So they're not like, you had to use your imagination a little with the way they transformed.
Yeah.
Like they don't match the look. They transformed and they were cool. And they're going to be a Walmart exclusive, and they're going to be in like retro packaging.
Huh.
And they're coming out in 2018, only at Walmart. And I believe they showed off Hot Rod and Starscream.
Okay.
And it's vintage boxes, the works. If anybody's seen the old vintage boxes, you can see them in your head. You know exactly what it looks like.
Yeah.
And they're going to do some more. But yeah, only at Walmart. So I'm going to keep my eye on that if it hasn't already happened and I'm missing it, and it's my fault.
Well, because you know what? That's one of the things that frustrates. And if you're listening and you're one of these people, I ask you, the one time I'm going to get kind of negative at all, ever. The thing that I can't stand is that like Walmart or people that are stocking the shelves get first pick over all the toys. And that's awesome. That is awesome for them as an employee. However,
absolutely,
they put them on the shelves, but then they get first pick. And then they take all the rare ones, buy them for themselves, and then sell them online for twice the price.
Yeah.
And I've been in several other groups. Like I was trying to track down some Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle figures, and I went every week on the week that they dropped, received their shipments, and checked multiple times, and they never had these particular figures. And then, on various groups I'm in there, someone was like, oh yeah, hey, I work at Walmart and I did this thing and we had this thing and blah, blah, blah. And it's just like, those are the worst kind of people, I think. People that take away other people's chances to just buy something. Like, instead of paying like $9, I wanted, for example, Saki Yojimbo. Instead of just paying like $9 or $10 or however much it was in the store, like you had to pay $20, $30, $40 for it online, because that's what people were buying them for and jacking them up online. It's like I just don't want those exclusives. I just don't want those exclusives to be bought up and then sold up online. That's the only downside to those types of things sometimes. It's like, man, it's frustrating.
Well, hey, if I was someone who owned a business, I would have that in a clause as an employee, especially when it comes to that type of stuff.
Right.
Like, you should not promote scalping.
Right.
I'm sorry. But there's a really great YouTube channel. Everybody should check it out. I'm sure I've mentioned it before, but it's called Toy Galaxy. It's where they break down like the history of toys and franchises and things. I hope I'm going to do it right and do it justice. But his catchphrase is, if you see one, pick it up. And if you see two, leave it for somebody else.
Yeah. Yep.
Leave it for another collector. And I'm like, thank you.
Yeah, exactly.
Because of course, you want two and you want three in the backup. You can have all this stuff, but when you know it's going to be rare, just get yours and be a nice dude.
Yeah.
Because me and Liam have talked about this before, who will be on an episode, I think next week's episode.
Yeah.
Unless you've already been on Patreon, then you already know who Liam is. We've talked about this before, and how kids today don't seem to have the cool toys that we have. And I was like, why, right? And he's like, yeah, because of the scalpers and stuff. I'm like, yeah, but that's not just it. That's just a broad stroke. It's more of, we have let ourselves grow up and still buy like we normally buy. And we've let the system take advantage of us that way. And we've created a system to where we had forgotten to share this cool stuff with our kids.
Right.
And we don't give them an opportunity to buy this stuff. So I'm sure you, as a parent, have had that thing where you want to buy something for your kid and it's rare and you know it's going to be rare.
Yep.
And you yourself wouldn't mind having one, but more importantly, you want one for your kid. And you just can't get it because of people not like us, but like us that just get so crazy and they work the system and they want so many copies. Or, of course, the complete a-holes that want to scalp them.
Yep.
And know the system. And then that just jacks up prices even more and more and more.
Yep.
Because all this stuff's getting bought up. And we've kind of we've stolen our toys from our kids.
Pretty much.
And so it's our responsibility to make sure that we get these kids cool toys. So I love to, come Christmas and you have, the Toys for Tots, or, you got a cool niece or nephew or something. Go pick up one of these super cool, awesome. Don't pick up something that's, lower end and, it might be popular or something, but it might not be them. Go out and really think about it and go out and buy them something super awesome that they could never get on their own or couldn't get easy. And you will completely change their life at this point. And then they'll be hooked like we were.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know I've ran off on a rant, but it's for positive.
For sure.
Go out there and buy all this cool, expensive stuff and go give it to some kids.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely one of the things, like the new, Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yes.
Cartoon
example.
That's coming out. My daughter's expressed interest that she wants it. But yet I know that there's collectors out there that's going to be out there just ravaging the shelves to get this stuff. Just like they've done with all of the previous, incarnations of the Turtles. And it's going to take a lot of fighting to get them if she decides she wants them. Especially some of the rare ones, like the rare mutations and stuff. But
yeah,
we'll see.
And only certain sites have scalp protection and numbers that you can order and pre-order and stuff. And
yeah,
it just makes it that much more harder.
It is.
Especially when we can, again, Toy Galaxy, just go watch that video about how buying toys in this day and age has changed. He's going to say everything I was fixing to say. I feel stupid for trying to even attempt it. Go watch that video, or I'll put a link to it.
Yeah. All right.
It explains the big problem with even trying to get a toy this day and age for adults, much less a kid.
For sure.
Real quick, what is it? DC Black Label.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
They're announcing a dark, mature comic book line. They got their prime artists involved, like Greg Capullo and Brian, what's that, Zello? Or shall I say his name off the top of my head?
I'll butcher it too, so.
Yeah, I've only ever read it. I've never read it, say it out loud. Just all their prime suspects of just top-notch comic book, graphic novel people. They're going to do an R-rated series with some of their darker characters, and I believe they're starting off with Batman in September.
Which will be great, especially if they take this and do the same direction they were talking about doing with their Justice League Dark or whatever, and they did, Swamp Thing and Constantine
Constantine's involved in the series, I believe.
Good, because this is straight up that alley. It'll be awesome.
Yeah, because they always had to kind of either outsource that stuff to Dark Horse every now and then.
Yeah. Or
someone else to try to get that darker stuff out.
The super.
But now they've just established their own label for that.
Oh,
keep it more in house.
Yeah, for sure. They could do super edgy Red Hood stuff.
They could give him the red carpet treatment, man.
Yeah.
Just set him loose.
Yeah, just be like, here you go, Jason Todd. Here's your playing ground. You finally found your home.
Yeah. A new segment called Joe's Kick of the Week. A buddy of mine who curates a comic book Kickstarter and horror Kickstarter. He goes through, finds all these treasure troves of unappreciated little comic projects that are looking to get funded. Some really, I just asked someone hey, can you start kicking us over some, no pun intended, start kicking us over some notes. Give us a choice for a week to go help them out. And this week he gave us a comic book entitled Metal Shark Bro, which is about a metal shark battling a demon with the power of metal. I've looked at the artwork. It's available on Kickstarter. Links are below. It looks amazing.
It sounds amazing.
It's the title, Metal Shark Bro. I believe it has, as of today, it will have roughly, when you're hearing this, on Tuesday, it will be a little over 2 weeks left, and they're a little over halfway with their funding. So go over there, give it a look. Seems like something you want to look at, something you want to buy, something you want to read. Kick them a couple bucks. Show them some love. Because we need that original blood coming out.
Originality is good.
And who knows, maybe next year we'll see a Metal Shark Bro figure at Comic-Con.
That
would be awesome. And if it looks like these drawings, man, it's going to be awesome.
Metal Shark Bro.
Yeah. It's seriously, this thing looks great. Real quick, can I give it's kind of a somber, but more of a positive.
Oh, yeah.
John Schnepp passed away, who, he was a director on Metalocalypse, which is, I love that animated series to death. And, he did the Death of the Return of Superman documentary about the making of Tim Burton's Superman and how that went down to amazing detail.
Yeah, it's incredible how far that movie got and never saw the light of day.
And because of him, his passion for that movie and the passion for animation and directing and stuff, we just never would have got to see it. And he sadly passed away. He was contributing member to Collider there up until recently. So just like to acknowledge him. And we are going to miss him. There's no telling what he had up his sleeve.
Yeah.
No telling.
Sure.
Because he was so young. Any final thoughts?
No, I have no final thoughts.
Long weekend.
Yeah, it was a long weekend full of awesome stuff. And we have some awesome, great episodes that we've already recorded coming up that is in store for you. You can already hear the Rocky episode if you join our Patreon, and we get to sit down and talk with Liam about Rocky. There's an awesome bonus Patreon exclusive about a Van Damme game that we'll go into later. Basically, he guesses or has to guess the movie based on the haircut, and that's only the hair, no face. No background picture, nothing. He said he could do it. We challenged him. He had to do it. So we get him on the podcast. And
guess what? One of you is going to be on an episode.
Yes.
And we can announce that, or attempt to, right now.
Attempt.
So we've tallied up, went through, made a list of every single person that entered through Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. We have assigned numbers to each entry, even the multiple ones. And now I'm going to randomly select a number for that winner.
Randomificate.
Random.
Go.
Generate. Ooh, okay. Number Jason Trion.
Oh,
Tryon.
Cool, Jason Tryon, my boy from Bafusa days.
Official winner, Jason Tryon. Contact him.
All right.
And he will be on one of the final episodes, probably the penultimate episode of the season, where he will get to pick the topic and come on the show and talk about it with us.
Fantastic. Awesome.
And this weekend is over.
This weekend's over. And what a weekend it's been. And I thank you all from the bottom of my heart for those who have been listening.
Absolutely.
This is the Geek-Men and the Masters of the ThunderNerds podcast. I am Dustin.
I am Bo.
Have a great weekend.
Later, guys.